Hey guys, it's Tarkhis from TarkhisGaming, and welcome to episode 2 of my SMP Let's Play series. As you can see, I've completed my house. Well, I've completed the shell of my house. I have my walls and everything up. The inside is still fairly empty. I put in the windowsills that I talked about earlier at first, but it didn't look the way I thought it was gonna look, so I took those out. And I had originally used iron bars instead of the glass, but I didn't want it to look, I felt it looked too much like a jail, and I didn't like it, so I put in the glass instead. The other thing I might change is this. I don't like the look from the inside with the roof there, so I may move this structure, this door frame, out a block. So the frame will be here and the doors will be out one more, and then just have the stone brick here. So inside my house, I haven't put any lighting in yet, so I just have torches everywhere. The snow is still from when I didn't have a roof on. I just haven't cleared it out yet. Go downstairs. This is the empty room in the basement. I just have some furnaces and some crafting benches set up, and that's all that's down here right now. The doors here lead to the balcony. I've put up the fences like I said I was going to do, and that's all done now. Might put in some more windows over there, and I was thinking about putting one big one in over here. You go back inside, and I think for now I'm going to put some chests here, and this will be my temporary storage room until I build another one. Before I can build another more complex one underground somewhere. This is what's going to lead down to the majority of my rooms. So the first thing that I have to worry about is food. It's the one area where, it's the one area where I'm really hurting. So the most basic one is a wheat farm. So that's what I'm going to build first. I have a little room cleared here, and this is where my wheat farm is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead, and if you've seen my other videos, my tutorials and that, you'll recognize the design of this farm. I've used it for a number of other things, such as my netherwort farm and my potato carrot farm. So if you give me a second here, I'm going to clear out some of this stone, make a good area, and then I'll start building it. Okay, so I cleared out a good area here for the farm. I don't have the bows to make the 4 dispensers that I would normally use to hold the water, so I'm going to use pistons. Unfortunately, I don't have slime balls either, so I can't use sticky pistons. So what I'm going to have to do is use pistons, but on top of the pistons, I'm going to have to use gravel. I could use sand, but I want the look to blend in. So I need gravel, which is gray, kind of looks the same as the stone. Obviously, the texture is different, but it'll blend in enough, I think. Once I get a piston in each corner, I want to put a redstone torch, below it, so that they're by default powered on. This way it'll hold the water back. Remember, when you're doing this, you're going to want the water a block up from wherever your gravel is, or wherever your soil is, so that it falls and it'll spread the full 8 blocks still. Now that I have that set up, I'm going to go ahead and fill the dirt in. You may notice that I no longer have the 34 levels I think I had last time. I did not enchant anything. I died. In fact, I died 3 times. Every single time it was by creepers. The one just snuck up behind me. I was actually repairing other creeper damage from one that had just exploded, and then he snuck up behind me and he got me because I wasn't wearing any armor. The second one, I was in a abandoned mine shaft. Actually, I think I was in a cave right beside an abandoned mine shaft, and I had shot at I had tried to knock the creeper back, and a skeleton behind him happened to shoot him right back into me. So it was like a bad game of hot potato with the creeper. I'm out of soil. I'm just going to run and grab that. Give me a sec. So I went back and grabbed some soil. all my materials are still at my old temporary house. That's why I paused the recording. It's a bit of a walk to get there. When I came back, I finished filling in the soil, and I noticed that I'd put the pistons in a block too high. So you could see there the piston arm. I left this one over here just to show you what I mean. What I want is when it's powered, I want it to be extended, but I don't want it to show. So what I had to do is take this out and move it down another block so that when it's powered, it still won't be, the piston arm still won't be showing. And then I just put some gravel up on top of it because that's what I'm going to be using to hold back the water source. So now that I have that, in my one tutorial I showed that you could have the water running below on the side here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a spot here for the items to gather up. And then I'm just going to run water along the middle here. So I'm going to grab a couple buckets of water. The water itself won't last the entire length. So what I'm going to have to do is place it one apart. So that way this still water will hydrate these blocks. And then this running water will push all the items I need to the start here. And it will hydrate all the way down. If I just put it at the start, then obviously the flow wouldn't reach the end. So now that I have that set up, I can put in my middle pathway here. And then what I'm going to want to do is in the middle, gotta find the middle two, which are these two. You'll notice that the water's flowing, so everything that's pushed into here will be pushed down to the start here. And I'm going to want to grab some half slabs so that I can put them in. I just need 2 of them. And I will put them in upside down right here, so that when the water's flowing, they'll be pushed underneath into the water flow below and pushed down here. So now all I really need to do is to hook up the redstone. So I'm going to have a lever hooked up in a second. I don't have it on me. And it'll be hooked up on this block. So I'm going to need to dig out an area for me to work. And then I'm just going to need to hook it up to the back of each of these pistons. Well, sorry. I'm going to need to hook it up to the redstone torch that is below each of these pistons, because it needs to be able to turn off the redstone torch, and that way it'll turn off the piston. So I'm going to grab my redstone here, grab the full stack. The lever will be on the other side of that, so I can just feed it down here. I'll have to see if this works, because that may run into problems. I'll move it over here just so I don't run into problems with the redstone diagonally powering the piston here. So I'll have it come down into there. And then I'm going to want to run a line all the way along the side here. And this will go down to the other redstone torch. Hopefully, if I can find it. Maybe. Yes? No? Let me count my blocks here. So this is, soil starts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You could go another block. And right there. So if I dig it out here, I'll need to put a repeater in here, I think, so that it will last the entire length. Actually, I'm going to move it over one just to give it some space. That way I have less curves in it. So I'll hook this up. I'll put a repeater in a second. I just need to figure out distances and that. And then I'll just do the same thing on the other side here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I've gone ahead and hooked up the other side now. They got the redstone going down to the piston here, and then it goes all the way along the side to this piston. So now this is where it gets a bit scary. I have to put in the water that will drain down to push the crops, to harvest the crops, without wiping out all my redstone. So I like to build one of these little safety buckets. That way, even if it spills out, I'm not quick enough with my block, it won't ruin any of my redstone. So if I place the water, place my block, I think I was fast enough there, but even if I wasn't, then it wouldn't have gone anywhere, it would have just got stuck in here. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the same on this side. Again, I'll make sure I have my little safety bucket set up. Drain my water. That one might have been close. And then get rid of these blocks. Now I'm going to use stone bricks again for this, just because they're simple, they're easy to get. I kind of want to switch it up soon. I find stone blocks get extremely boring, and you can't use them for too much before you start getting sick of them, especially when I don't have anything to accent them and make them look any different. Before I get too far here and do all the siding, I'm going to finish the sides here. But before I test, did that break the redstone? No. Before I finish the thing completely, I'm going to want to give it one test run just to make sure it's working. I just want to cover up anywhere where the water might leak down and hurt my redstone, because that's the last thing I want right now. So I'm going to have to make sure all this is covered and it's all contained. I can replace that later. Over here, I just want to make sure all this redstone is protected, so that when I test it, it doesn't break it. It's going to wipe out these torches, but that'll be alright. Push it down, the water comes out, and this side didn't work, so I must have broke something. Yes, I built my safety bucket and I accidentally broke it, so now that should fix everything, because that redstone there powers both those pistons. So if I fill that in, then now both sides will work. Oh, I knew I was going to do something stupid like that. Oh well, there's no redstone there. That's not bad. If I fill that in. Whew, that was a close one. I almost thought I wiped out all my redstone. Alright, so I think that's it for today's episode. Yeah, look, my torches came out. Next episode, I'm probably going to work on a reed farm so that I can get my enchanting ready. Hopefully I don't die too many more times and lose all my levels again. But thanks for watching. If you're interested, please subscribe. And if you could, leave me a like. Thanks a lot.